Hello guys. Well, today we're going to see two different Django Reinhardt phrases on his improvisation of Sweet Sue, and one extra exercise that I've created by modifying one of these two exercises. Sweet Sue, it's a pretty common tune in the gypsy jazz repertoire. So I suggest you that you learn this tune and this melody, because it's pretty simple, but great players play this tune in gypsy jazz. For example, this transcription of Django Reinhardt, but there is another version by Schmidt that I've already transcribed. I'm going to transcribe another version of Angelo De Bar. So all the great gypsy jazz musicians play this tune, so you should learn the harmony and the melody too. In this Django Reinhardt transcription, I adapted the melody played by the violin. I adapted for guitar. Okay, let's start by looking at the first of these two phrases. The first one is pretty simple. As always, I'm going to play the first phrase. So this one is in G. These phrases are just for one chord, and this chord is the first chord. Okay, so really interesting. I think it's really interesting because he's playing on a G chord, right? So he plays the fifth again. Then he plays the fourth, which is an avoid note on this chord. But I think he played this note to put the sound of that avoid note into our heads, into our ears, right? So, and it's a passage to the major third. All of these notes, of the other notes, are from the arpeggio. The only note that it's not in the arpeggio is the fourth. And then he plays this sharp 11 and resolves the tension to the fifth. Really interesting. Take a look at this again and pay attention how I play the C note and then I play the C sharp. Look. C sharp. These two different notes have two different functions to my taste. The The first one functions as a diatonic note, and the other one functions as a chromatic approach note to the fifth. But it lasts so long that you have to hear that. And he generates this sound, this Lydian sound over the first chord. I thought it would be nice to create an exercise with this short melody because of that sharp 11th. You also have to analyze, for example, what arpeggio is in that position, right? That's the G triad. And from there, if you want to play the G6th, you add the 6th to this triad. Right? This is the arpeggio, the triad, then the arpeggio with the 6th, and this is the major scale with the C note. Right? And if you want to play the Lydian mode, it will be this. Right? So you have to learn all these different things, but I think, for example, the Lydian mode here is not so that important. If you want, you can learn it, but I think it's not that important because this, in fact, it's an approach note. But it's useful that you can identify this kind of colors, so you can use it when you're improvising here, doing just another phrase, right? Right? I don't know, whatever, but you know that's the sharp 11th sound. Etc. And okay, as I always do, I adapted this phrase into other set of strings so we can play this and learn and expand our knowledge on the guitar. So the next phrase, it's here. It's exactly the same. Right? This one is in C. So we have the fifth, the fourth, third. Here in this case we have we have to play on the 5th fret. when we play the phrase on the higher 3 strings, you have to play this. But on these strings, you have to play like a big roll finger, right? The fourth, the sharp 11th to the 5th. And in this case, which one is the C triad? And if you add the 6th, that's if you want to add the 6th. The major scale here is right, and the Lydian mode here is with the F sharp. Right. Again, this is the same as we said before. It's not necessary that you learn the Lydian mode here, because I don't think that this is a Lydian sound. Django, in all his improvisation, in the only moment that he plays that sharp 11th sound is in this passage. He doesn't play the sharp 11th sound on other at other moments of of his improvisation. So it's not necessary, but if you want, you can use it. That's why I put all these diagrams here. Okay, I think that's pretty much I want to say about this phrase. I think it's the more difficult one of these phrases that we're learning today, because it's a longer phrase, and you have that jump, and also probably another difficulty in this phrase is that you have that those notes that you have to play with a downstroke, you know. Sorry. So you have, if you use that gypsy jazz technique, you would have down, 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 right? Because you have down, down, up, down, down, down. Right? Some people maybe want to play an upstroke here. That makes things easier. If you use that here, an upstroke, because you would have down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 because that's easier in that part. But you have two options. According to the gypsy jazz technique, you would have to play here down, 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 and then down, down. Or if you want to make things easier, you could play down, up, down. That's up to you. That's up to you and your technique and your taste and whatever. Okay, now let's take a look at the other phrase. It's really simple. And it has that ending sound, right? In fact, Django played this phrase at the end of the second A section, because the form of this tune is A, right? So he improvises over the A, then he improvises over another A, and right before the B, he plays this phrase, right? So he ends the second A section with this phrase that we're watching now, learning now. So this phrase is pretty simple, and it's played on 3 strings. That's why I adapted this phrase to strings 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 4, 5. The original is played on 2, 3, 4, so I adapted it to the other strings. He starts with a diatonic approach to the tonic, right? All arpeggio. So we have 9th tonic, then we have 3rd, 5 tonic, major 7th to the tonic. So it's not, again, it's not a major 7th, but I think it's more than like an approach note to the tonic. Take a look at this. We can play this phrase here, or here, or here, or etc. So I used these 3 different positions, and by doing that, we have an ascending exercise. I thought that was interesting. So you have, for example, then you have to go to C, to F. So I am ascending instead of descending. B flat, E flat, right? A flat, D flat, G flat, and here I have to descend to B, then E, A, I ascend again, D, G. Right? I thought it was interesting to have an exercise that goes up the fretboard instead of going down. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting. And okay. Again, for example, right? We have in this position, that would be the triad. The same as before, then the 6th, the major scale, etc. And when we play the other position, I want to show you this on G, on each part of the fretboard using the same melody. when we play it here, right? We have this triad, right? And this major scale. That's the major scale. Or you can learn here also the major seventh. Right? And on this other position, you have the triad, the same triad, G. And the major scale here. Right? And if you want to play the G major seventh here, it would be this this position. I use that one and in this position, right? Because it's different to this one would be the note that corresponds to this diagram I played it. But it's not I don't know. In these cases, I think that there isn't one diagram, you know. In fact, when we learn the guitar, some teachers say that we have to use these diagrams, but it's fiction, you know. It's not real. So you have to learn in which places you have this major seventh, and you have to know that at some moments you want to use it here, but if you want to play a whole arpeggio, it's more useful to look at this major seventh here, because otherwise you won't be able to play it faster. You know? It's uncomfortable, I think. Okay, I hope I didn't miss anything here. Okay, again, if you want to buy this lesson, you have the download the link on the video description, where you will find 3 demo audios for each exercise. So you will have 9, because we have three exercises. Each exercise will have 100% speed, 90% and 80%. So we have 3 exercises. So you will have 9 different demos, right? And also you will have 2 different backing tracks, because for the first exercise I use one backing track, and for the second exercise, second and third, I use a different backing track that has just because of the ending, it's longer. It has one more measure, so in order to fit the exercise with the backing track, you have 2 backing tracks, which are 6 different backing tracks, because also I upload this at 3 different speeds. So we have 2 backing tracks at 3 different speeds. That gives us 6 different audio tracks. I was forgetting about something. The third exercise. It's exactly the same as Django played, but it's this third exercise is rhythmically displaced on the metric. So it's exactly the same, right? But sounds completely different because it's displaced in the time, in the metric of the measure. So it's not that 1, 2, 3, 4 pa 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 pa. It's not that. It's displaced 1/8 note to the right, let's say, to think about that. So it's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? Both melodies together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you tell the difference? I noticed the difference because I'm doing this with my foot, right? But I don't know if you are hearing that. So I thought that would be interesting for you to have this kind of phrases. You can play these exercises with a lot of phrases, not into really complex phrases, but on simpler phrases, it's interesting to play this kind of rhythmic stuff, because when you do this, you may have another idea. You know, you're developing. You're taking one phrase and going further. Developing by doing this, you're developing your vocabulary. You know. Okay, I think that's it. We have a long video again, but I hope you find this useful. Again, if you want to support me on Patreon, you will have all these lessons I'm creating for a very, very, very small amount per month. So take a look at my Patreon, and if you're interested, I'm thinking about buying an electric guitar, and if I do that, I'll start to create all the kind of exercises. You know, I don't know, for example, taking Wes Montgomery phrases and adapting to other strings and developing ideas rhythmically, etc. So that's a project that I'm working on. Okay, I hope you like this video, you enjoyed it, you find these 3 phrases useful, and the ideas that we developed here. And see you next time.